fat fried. Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried.
Hey everybody, welcome to yet another episode of this fucking goddamn show we call Deep. Fuck.
Fart free.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh shit, it's right on the screen. Deep Fat Fried. Woo!
Took you long enough to find it.
Yeah, I was just,
What were you waiting for?
I don't know, Paul. What are you waiting for, Paul?
I don't know, TJ.
Dude, if I knew the answer to that question, I'd be a fucking gozillionaire.
Sorry, TJ's gonna.
Scotty, by the way, you're a piece of shit, dude. You nearly got me caught. I killed someone in my dream last night, and then you kept fucking poking around asking all these damn questions and shit.
Well, dude, it's just because like
This homeless crackhead kept coming to my house,
well, you should
and
kill
finally
him,
got
dude.
sick of it, and I strangled him to death. And I started I bundled
Sorry,
his body
TJ.
up in some blankets, and you're like, "What's bundled up in the blankets?
I got
Looks
unleashed my
suspicious and
luscious
stuff."
locks. I don't even care what you were saying, TJ. I'm glad I almost got.
Oh yeah,
cut.
everyone loves Scotty's hair.
Oh, let me just
Unleash the locks.
let me just free my hair.
People were saying it was like the scene in like the cliche scene in a '90s movie where
Dude.
the like homely girl fucking lets her hair
Oh
down.
damn,
and all
I'm a
of a
homely girl.
Yeah, and all of a
I'm
sudden
homely
she's
girl.
hot and shit. You know,
Dude,
I'm a homely girl.
there was a petition for you to just like wear it like that all the time and all that.
look at this photograph.
Oh yeah.
Every time I do it makes
my
me
luscious hair,
laugh.
TJ, and your lack of hair.
You are rocking the Chad Kroger, dude. The
Yeah.
short crop beard and the long blonde hair, dude.
That's true. This
Hey,
guy looks like Chad Kroger.
I'm fine being a member of Nickelback, dude. They're rich as
Look
shit.
at this photograph.
Yeah, what's Chad Kroger's net worth?
Like $100 million or something, dude. It's ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't make no money no more, but he made a bunch back in the day.
He
They made
doesn't
a-
have to make no money.
Dude, they made a deal with Live Nation for $100 million, so I think they're like
Live Nation's like, they're going to be popular forever.
I still think they do pretty well at touring, dude.
Probably.
They're just like some fucking milquetoast rock band. It's like, it's rock music. I like rock music. I'll go.
$60 million.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad.
I love the way you look at me. I love the way you smack my ass.
That's Puddle of Mud.
I know.
Is it?
I think.
They're all the same.
Dude,
to
Puddle
me.
of Mud, that dude's like, I was watching one of those, like, you know, clickbait YouTube channels, and this guy's like, apparently that dude's had a bunch of legal problems.
Cool.
I mean, his music kind of sucks. I've never really paid attention to it, but hey.
Dude, butt rock just got real bad there for a while
It
in
did,
the early
dude.
2000s.
I have to agree with you.
Whatever.
Butt rock came back in a big
TJ's
way.
favorite, honestly, though, and he won't admit this on the show, but it was Stained.
Stained.
TJ was a big Stained fan.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, dude.
All the times Stained.
That I cry.
I mean, I rest my case, man.
Dude, you know the best Stained is when the dude fucking went all, like, country or whatever, though. And he sang that
Oh, God, I
song
love
where
that
it's
shit,
all like-
dude.
It's about like 2 flags fly on my land, and one's like the stupid libertarian flag and
Yeah,
shit
the
with
snake.
snake or whatever.
The Don't Tread on Me flag.
Yeah, the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. And he's talking about like, if the government come take my guns, I'll blow them all
I wonder
away.
if Aaron Lewis, that's the name of the dude. I wonder if
Yeah.
he's like a big,
He's a moron, I can tell you that much.
I wonder if he's like an Alex Jones fan, dude. Is he into that, all that shit?
I don't know. I haven't heard shit about Aaron Lewis for like 90 years, so.
I read an interesting story about him on Reddit that, like, you know, Wes Borland, the dude that used to play is the bassist for Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit basis.
Like, he saw him and he was like, yeah, I'm going home to LA. And like, Aaron Lewis like, no, where are you from?
Hey, we could go see Aaron Lewis, dude. He's still touring, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, where are you from? He's like,
Pass.
he's like, I'm from Florida. He's like, that's your home, man. LA's
Oh,
not
dude,
your
he's
home.
gonna be in Baton Rouge, bro.
Yeah, we're going, dude.
January 25th, Baton
No,
Rouge.
come on,
Bullshit,
Paul.
you ain't
Come
passing on
Paul.
shit.
Come on, Paul.
I am
we're going.
100%
We're
good.
going, Paul.
No.
We're gonna kidnap Paul.
Nope.
He just put out a new album not
I
too
wouldn't
long
walk
ago.
across the street to see Aaron Lewis play a fucking
He
6-hour
knows,
concert
man,
for
this
free.
world's a sight to see. Oh, but when the
I
bar
don't want to be in a room.
Eh?
I don't want to be in a room with
Dude,
people who are listening
So
to that.
it's not even like bad emo whiny fucking bullshit.
He's
rock.
over that.
Aaron
He's
Lewis.
he's country now,
He
boy.
makes country music.
Yeah, I'm Aaron goddamn Lewis, boy.
You know who that direction
Used to
too?
be me in the Stain.
You know what that direction surprisingly as well was
Hitler?
no, not Hitler. But
Oh.
that'd be interesting. The Godhead dude, Jason Miller.
Oh, really? He's a country singer now?
Yeah, he's big into D&D. He had a thing on Geek and Sundry. So I was kind of surprised. I'm like, is that Jason Miller? And he's like, yeah, he did some D&D thing. And
Yeah. And now he's singing country songs.
And he was doing country music.
I'm a country man.
Go look it up, dude. I'm not making this shit up.
All right, Jason Miller, Godhead, country music.
Country
Gotcha.
music, dude. Yeah.
I'm assuming he ain't in Godhead no more.
I don't think they're a thing anymore.
Whoa, he looks totally different now. He's got like the fucking fake country outlaw thing going on.
It's surprising.
Yeah, he used to be a bald little dude. He was the first act, actually only act signed to Marilyn Manson's short-lived Post-Human label. And now he's a country man.
And
Sweet.
does D&D shit.
I'm a country man. I like to play D&D. Like, what the hell?
Where did that come from?
I don't know. He also I know he does voice work on like cartoons and shit too. So this is him nowadays. I don't know if anyone remembers Godhead from back in the day, but
Probably not.
Very fucking
Probably not, dude.
yeah, well, me and Scotty might be some of the only two people left on Earth that remember. Remember Godhead, man. Jason Charles Miller, man. He got him to country music now, boy.
I just thought of him because you said someone that went from rock to country.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. So can we hear where the fuck I want to listen to
It's
this
on
shit?
YouTube. There's like a song on YouTube.
All right, here's a
That
song.
hat
We can
and
only
that-
play 5 seconds or whatever, but you know.
That hat and that vest that he's wearing.
All right, yeah. I'm not gonna waste my 5 seconds
Yeah,
on your
skip
little
to the
intro
middle.
part. You know, at least he kind of retains some of the fucking his vocal quality
Yeah,
throughout
it's definitely more like outlaw type country, shit.
Aaron Lewis just sounds outright like a fucking,
Country
like some
pop star.
Toby Keith bullshit.
Dude, fuck Aaron Lewis, dude.
At least Jason Miller kind of has like, I'm an outlaw somehow.
You interrupted my fucking story, you piece of shit, earlier, but
Oh
basically,
yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, you're a piece of shit, so I'm
Yeah.
used to it. I'm used to it. Yeah.
Tired of your lies, bitch.
But it was just the whole fucking thing with I'm telling the dude, like, no, you don't really live in L.A. Where you were born is where you're from, the South, and, like, that's the real America. So he's all into that kind of shit, dude.
That's a real America.
He is like a Toby Keith faggot,
He ain't
dude.
into nothing but kicking back and cashing these checks and shit. Look, dude, that fucking vest he's wearing, that's not all beat up because he's out there rough riding and shit. He bought that shit along with that hat to look like he's actually out in the fucking sun doing things like an outlaw would be.
I crafted a new image. Gonna
This dude
make
is
some
a
money.
total fucking... See, I look at him just like I look at Aaron Lewis. Just another fucking perpetrator. Just another dude trying to find another niche and reinvent himself with some clothes and a fucking long-ass beard.
Damn,
Fuck
Paul, earlier you were saying to Monique, you're saying reinvent yourself, and they try it, Paul.
And
they
then when
suck.
someone
And now,
finally
and
does,
you know what? And then when they finally do it, Paul's
suck
like,
at it.
fuck you! You fucking suck at your reinvention!
It is conditional on them trying something that works.
Yeah,
This don't work.
I'll give you that. His career did not really go anywhere.
Hey,
with
whatever. You know where his career really does shine is his voice work, dude. Apparently, he's done like 100 different animated series and video games.
He's got a good voice.
He's
got a
getting
good
paid a
voice.
lot of money to do the voice work. So
And obviously, that's
that's
good
how
for
he
him.
pays for all this. I'm a
for him.
country outlaw.
Right, that's how he bought that pre-distressed faux
Yep.
leather vest and the fucking hat that looks like it's been out in the rain for literally generations of his family.
Maybe he does do that. We don't know.
Let me
Paul.
show you how-
Fuck, no, he
he
doesn't.
does, Paul.
You know why I know that?
He's wrangling some fucking.
Look at that stupid
uh,
skull and crossbones corporate ass logo on that hat, dude. It came in the box looking just
No,
like that.
it didn't, Paul. You're just jealous.
It's bullshit.
Let me show you what this fucker looked like in the fucking 90s.
Oh yeah, totally different. Totally different.
Hopefully he's still wearing that hat because it looks like it's been out in the rain since the 90s. Oh, yeah.
So this was him in the 90s, right?
Yeah, dude.
So he used to be like, I am Jason Miller, bald, creepy, goth dude.
I think it's because like the goth shit.
And now
just
he's this.
kinda, the goth shit all just kind of went away, dude. No one
Yeah,
really
he's
gave a
like,
fuck
all
about
right,
it.
I can't really rock this no more. So now I'm a country outlaw guy.
Yeah, I don't really know how you reinvent yourself this way.
I don't know.
I mean, he was a pretty decent D&D DM though. I'll give him that.
Cool. Well, good
So-
for him.
He's got that going for him.
Good
I'm
for
glad-
his
I'm glad
stupid ass.
he's
Yeah.
got stuff going
His
on.
music though, yeah, the music's a little bit lacking.
Anyway, this is a longer conversation than I ever thought I'd have about Jason Miller of Godhead
I don't know.
fame in 2019. But okay.
Good point. Good point.
Probably a little excessive. All right, anyway, let's get to the fucking meat of the damn day. We got some shit going on.
Isn't this an episode about Jason Charles Miller?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So we've talked about obesity on this show before.
We've talked about Godhead as well.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Shut up, Paul. God damn you. All right. That's no surprise, right? So 2/3 of this show are fat, right? Right? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
What's up?
Who's included in that?
You and me.
I'm not fat.
Oh, sorry. So 1/3 of the show is fat.
I was told my whole life I was husky.
Yeah, okay. So we got 1/3 fat, 1/3 husky up on this show.
Yeah.
The word fat is right in our name. You know, originally I wanted to call this show the Southern Fried Podcast. It literally came to me in a dream. But I brought that to Paul and Scott. I think Paul was kind of like Southern. I don't want it tied to no South, so fuck that.
Dude, Paul's prejudiced against the South.
I know.
He is.
So I ignored the
Can
wisdom.
you blame me?
Yeah, I don't.
Why do you feel so paranoid here, Paul? You always feel like you're like
Yeah, you
under
scared.
attack,
Why you
man.
scared, bitch?
It's not about
Why are
me.
you scared, man?
I'm just a paranoid type, and this is the type of place where cops be sniffing around in your shit. And
You
other people
know,
be sniffing
you
around
ain't
in
nothing
from
bad
around
happened to
here,
you.
are you,
nosy
boy?
ass
Ain't-
bullshit down here.
Nothing bad happened
Anyway,
to Paul since he lived here.
So a lot of people, we changed our name. We ultimately morphed to Deep Fat Fried, and a lot of people at the time they kept wanting to call it Deep Fried Fat. You guys remember that shit?
Yeah, they people had a real hard time with deep fat fried at first.
Yeah, which is I thought it was pretty common knowledge that this method of cooking was called deep fat frying, and most people just call it deep frying.
Right.
But deep fried fat doesn't make sense. You don't fry fat; you're frying in fat.
Right.
So that's why it's called deep fat fried, deep fat frying. It's a cooking method. More importantly, though, fat is in the middle of our fucking name because fat is at the heart of what makes this show great.
Fat
agree.
is where it's at.
Even our Patreon content is described in terms of food. We talk about the chef's table, the $5 chef's table, and then the chef's table is the $10 one.
Yep.
The buffet is the $5 one. Right. So you got a buffet, we got a chef's table. It's all about, we describe our content in terms of delicious contento that, the audience is being fed and stuff. So we have a strong relationship with eating, with food, with fatness.
I have to object to one thing you said, though.
Yes.
We didn't say that about the show. That's actually Senor Tomat.
Senor Tomat, of course.
That's right.
Who speaks for the show.
Well, obviously.
We haven't seen him around in a while either.
Yeah. Where's Tomat?
I don't know.
I think rumors of his demise are greatly exaggerated.
He's probably just off conquering a galaxy somewhere or something. He'll be back. So I think it's appropriate we talk once again about fatness, bro. Got some fat anime bitches here.
They fat.
They fat, bro.
They blubbergumptious.
Them fat ass anime bitches, bro. Suck on them big fat anime jelly rolls,
It's
man.
like, dude, their clothes are too small because they got fat so suddenly.
Yeah, sudden fat. You see all that fried food behind them too, It's implied they ate all that shit.
Damn.
So I think it's appropriate we talk about fatness once again. This time I'd like to look at two related phenomena. And the first is when a famous person who was formerly, skinny or average or whatever the fuck becomes fat. Because it's kind of fascinating to me. The second is when it's the opposite. When a big, fat, famous person
Gives it up.
loses weight, starts to become a slight little pathetic twig of their former selves.
I mean, you have to admit, it is like you're giving something up. Because, like, when you're fat, it's like you're just saying, like, I'll eat whatever I want. I kind of just live the lifestyle I want. And then when you become skinny, it's like you're committing to, like, I'm going to work out and eat right and actually care about this.
So
shit.
betrayal.
Let me talk.
It is.
Let me talk to you guys about my genuine feelings about this. And I realize these feelings are irrational feelings. But I really like it when a celebrity gets fat. And I really dislike it when a fat celebrity gets skinny. It really does seem like I'm being stabbed in the fucking back fat.
How
You
do
know
you
what
want
I'm
the ones
saying?
that go back and forth?
The only one I can think that really yo-yos a lot like that is Oprah, who we might cover in this episode or we might not. She's kind of like an ace in the hole on this one. But the reason I didn't overtly pull her was because I started to get into it, and it's just so fucking hard to suss out because she just ballooned and she just yo-yoed so much. It was just, I'm fat, I'm skinny. Here's a diet supplement. I'm fat again. Holy shit. And she would constantly seesaw up and down, up and down, up and down. She's constantly peddling diet pills and diet this
I don't
and
know,
diet
man.
that.
You know, on the surface, I think your instinct was wrong, but I think, honestly, if there's that much meat on that bone, then maybe it's just you have to do an Oprah episode, TJ. You already
Maybe. We've already done an Oprah video. I mean, I think she's definitely worth doing an episode on. But, man, it's just her career is so expansive and so many things have happened in it. It's kind of hard. Actually, doing this episode, I almost wanted to change it into an episode just about our first subject here. This man, who you might recognize as being Elvis Presley.
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. He was kind of the Kurt Cobain of his time.
Of his time.
Yeah, I mean, he was the predominant rock star of the age, the time, the place. He drove the fucking ladies crazy, drove their parents even more crazy in a different direction. People all had a strong feeling about Elvis, and he fucking sold out giant fucking arenas and all that shit. But honestly, Elvis, his star has faded in recent years because it turns out millennials, which is technically my generation, I guess, are not big on Elvis. He doesn't get streamed nearly as much as other nostalgia acts like, say, the Beatles or David Bowie.
Sure.
Maybe this is due to exaggerated claims, or I can say, it's up for debate whether they're exaggerated or not. But exaggerated claims, in my view, that he stole black music. The reality is that Presley was one of many artists in a biracial rock and roll movement, and he never hesitated to give credit where credit's due. There's this idea out there that Elvis just wantonly stole music from the black man and was just like, I made this. But here's Elvis talking about it. A lot of people think I started this business, but rock and roll was here a long time before I came along. Nobody can sing that kind of music like colored people, which, by the way, was the fucking acceptable term at the time, so fuck you. Let's face it, I can't sing like Fats Domino. I know that. So Elvis was not someone who was shying away from talking about his influences, talking about where his sound came from, shit like that. He was given credit where credit was due. Did Elvis have an unfair advantage over black artists because of his skin color? Absolutely. But that was not by his own design. He didn't create America's racism. In fact, he was a force against it. As one black publication at the time of his popularity stated, Presley makes no secret of his respect for the Negroes, once again, the appropriate terms of the time, nor of their influence on his singing. Furthermore, he does not shun them either in public or private. So whether Elvis is widely listened to or not anymore, it's undeniable he inspired a great many people who are still listened to, such as the Beatles, as we mentioned before. John Lennon once said, "Nothing affected me until I heard Elvis. Without Elvis, there would be no Beatles." I can't begin to tell you how many bands were influenced by the Beatles. Obviously, we know Alice Cooper and Ozzy Osbourne. Basically, you take Elvis out of the fucking equation of the lineage of popular music, and the music we're listening to today is totally different than what it is now.
I mean, you can make a strong argument for pretty much any act that followed the Beatles that became popular in rock being influenced by their sound and
right,
production.
Absolutely. And of course, if they're fucking saying it's all about John Lennon saying, "Hey, it's all about Elvis" to me,
effusive about Elvis,
right? Even though Elvis ended up hating them later in life.
That's great.
The reason I'm getting into all this is because I want everyone to really grasp how vital Elvis Presley was to modern music. Because I know not everyone today likes him or respects him or necessarily listens to him, but I just feel like it's important that you grasp how fucking important he was before I remind you that he died fat as fuck on the toilet.
The before
See,
and
this
after.
is the best Elvis to me. The big fat rhinestone Elvis that would mop his brow with the thing and throw it to the ladies. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you do an Elvis, Paul?
A little bit, yeah.
There you go.
No.
So David Deal of festivalpeak.com writes, "Our last impression of Elvis is the fat Elvis of the 1970s. A sweaty, blubbery shell of his former self, spaced out on drugs in his gaudy Elvis suit as he butchers his song catalog on a Las Vegas stage," which is what we're looking at here.
Yep.
Beautiful, dude.
And that's kind of, that's the, I don't know if that's the enduring Elvis, I don't know.
It is in my mind.
So when I say Elvis, do you see,
I think of this Elvis.
do you see young, skinny,
No.
popular fucking, I mean, this Elvis was popular too. I can't
was.
take that away from him.
He was, for sure.
Or Scotty, if I was to just say Elvis, obviously it's kind of biasing you to have it on the screen at the time, but like, if you're just out and about and you just picture Elvis in your head, if someone says Elvis Presley, do you see this Elvis or do you see this Elvis?
It just really depends. Sometimes, like if we're talking about the end of like pretty much past his prime, I think of this Elvis. If we're talking about before,
But if I just say Elvis Presley and you just where's your mind?
Probably younger Elvis, honestly.
Gotcha. All right, so the thing about Elvis's later years is they're kind of maybe a little bit unfairly maligned. Elvis's tenure in Vegas actually helped to draw in Middle America in a time when Vegas was struggling to appeal to that exact demographic. You know, Vegas had kind of become not a very hip town. It was kind of just for the gamblers, you know, and that's not enough to sustain that city. You need people coming for other reasons. And Elvis was doing this twice nightly show that was a huge success, and it kind of proved that a big enough star didn't need to go on tour to make money. And Elvis, you know, Frank Sinatra kind of blazed the trail for him a bit there, but Frank was always more of something like, you know, hey, I'm going to go to Vegas and gamble, and maybe I'll catch a Frank Sinatra show. But people would go to Vegas specifically to see Elvis. So as author Richard Zoglin, author of Elvis in Las Vegas, wrote in the New York Times, Elvis brought something new to Las Vegas. Not an intimate Rat Pack-style nightclub show, but a big rock concert extravaganza. He showed that rock and roll and country and R&B, too, could work on the big Vegas stage, and he brought in a new kind of audience. Not the Vegas regulars and high rollers, but a broader, more middle American crowd. Female fans who would scream for Elvis as teenagers, families who made Elvis the centerpiece of their summer vacation. So Elvis was a huge draw to Vegas, and of course Vegas loves anything that's going to get people in Vegas because these, you know, like most tourist traps that, you know, we talk about in our tourist traps episode, it's all about get them there with some kind of razzle-dazzle and then part them with as much of their money as you possibly can.
Well, bless my soul, what do I see? A big cheeseburger and it's covered in cheese.
Oh, he'll go way further than that.
I hope you cover his favorite sandwich in this episode.
Oh, don't you fret, my
yeah.
friend. And it's not what you think. I actually learned that was one of his favorite sandwiches, but there was a sandwich he liked better.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Cool.
crazy. So you see here, this is a giant marquee outside of this this theater for Elvis. You know, you see Ike and Tina Turner there on the side. Little Ike and Tina Turner.
Ike and Tina Turner are coming, but Elvis.
Elvis! You know? So, unfortunately, though, Elvis kind of became a victim of his own success. So this 2 shows a night for weeks at a time. You know, like we've been doing a fucking pretty rough schedule ourselves, but I mean it's nothing compared to what Elvis was doing at this time.
Fuck no.
I mean we've been for the last couple weeks we've been doing shows every day to get some in the bank so that we have some time to work on some of these other projects we're working on, and I'm sure the audience will see the results of the fruits of those labor pretty soon. But it's nothing compared to what Elvis was doing. You know, especially as a big fat dude getting up on stage, belting out all these tunes. 2 shows a fucking day, weeks at a time, without a fucking break. So Elvis started taking pills to wake up and pills to go to sleep. Never a good sign. It's when you have to regulate your body's sleep cycle with medication to that extent, it tends to be a pretty bad warning sign. He also ate excessively. His diet was insanely poor. One of his favorite sandwiches, which Scotty was just referencing a minute ago, is a peanut butter and banana sandwich, which he also liked to add heaps of bacon onto. He was a big fan of peanut butter. He was a big fan of bacon. Okay? But that's not his favorite sandwich.
And was that by the way, wasn't that also deep fried?
Yes.
Yes.
It was also a deep fried sandwich.
Thank you.
So you take peanut butter, banana, bacon, put it on a sandwich, deep fry that son of a bitch. You got yourself a fucking sandwich,
And
my friend.
that sandwich is now called the Elvis, by the way.
Well, there's another sandwich that Elvis actually one time went. Well, let's see. This isn't the one I want. Hold on.
Oh my God, fat Elvis, dude.
Yeah, poor fat Elvis. All right, so here we go. So this is Elvis's private plane here, the Lisa Marie, named after his daughter. Elvis was so fucking fat that at one time he flew for 2 hours in a private jet, spent $16,000 to fly to a restaurant in Denver, called the Colorado Mine Company because they had a sandwich on the menu called the Fool's Gold Loaf.
Fool's Gold Loaf.
The Fool's Gold Loaf.
Okay.
So the recipe for the Fool's Gold Loaf is as follows. Let's go ahead and find the fucking thing. Here we go.
Whoa.
Take a whole loaf of Italian bread.
Gotcha.
Slice it lengthwise. Hollow it out and slather it with margarine. Then add a whole jar of jelly and a whole jar of creamy peanut butter, creating 2 large boats of peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Finally, add a whole pound of fried bacon. Before adding the bacon, dab away the grease on paper towels.
Of course.
Then reunite the sandwich halves, deep fry, and serve.
Wow. I'm fucking flabbergasted. I want one of these so fucking bad
AJ,
right
you
now.
know what?
All right, so yeah, what's
I
up,
want
Scotty?
to point out that I bought a deep fryer
Yeah,
for that turkey, dude.
cool.
Maybe I need to make one of these.
Well, listen, you might not want to deep fry it because everything else I've looked at seems to suggest the deep frying thing is an exaggeration. But everything else about the recipe seems to be spot on. The sandwich is tens of thousands of calories. It's sometimes referred to as the sandwich that killed Elvis.
Sweet. They still sell it?
Yes. The Colorado Mine Company is no longer in business, but one of the cooks started their own restaurant, and they still offer this item to this day. Now, typically, you don't eat this entire sandwich. This is chopped up into pieces and shared. But when Elvis arrived in Colorado, the restaurant owner of the owner and his wife of the Colorado Mine Company, actually met him at the tarmac with 22 of these.
What?
And Elvis and his guests actually spent 3 hours chit-chatting and eating these sandwiches.
22 of them?
22.
How many people do you have with him?
Like 4.
Damn, dude.
4 or 5. It was not a big group. And they apparently sat around eating these sandwiches for hours. I don't know how many were left when all is said and done, if any were left. But Elvis Presley was a very self-indulgent eater. Now, it's likely that this sandwich literally did kill him. Maybe not this particular sandwich, but his diet in general. Because the most likely cause of Elvis's death was constipation.
Damn. Good shit,
now,
dude.
He was on opiates and stuff. His doctor, who was a lot of people blame his doctor for his death, by the way, Dr. Nick, which is probably how the Simpsons got the name of their quack doctor,
Hi,
by the
doc-
way. Hi, everybody. So the coroner actually found over 35 pounds of white chalky fecal matter in Elvis's colon at the time of his death.
White and chalky?
White and chalky. As humiliating as this fact is, he was found on the floor in front of his toilet. His colon, during the autopsy, was found to be 5 to 6 inches. Now, I don't know if that's width or circumference, but I know that that's double the normal size. The length of his colon was between 8 and 9 feet. The average is 4 to 5 feet. So, obviously, there was this huge backup in his colon that was actually distorting his colon to be about twice the size of a normal human colon. The examiners found food that had been in his colon, they estimated, for 4 to 5 months.
Jesus.
What the fuck, dude?
They said Elvis Presley's body was basically toxic, and that it's a wonder he lasted as long as he did. Now, a lot of people, it's not 100% known that this is what caused his death. There was some heart condition stuff, but the heart attack might have been brought on by him straining once again to try to pass this horrible mass of white chalky fecal matter
Jesus.
that was trapped in his oversized swollen colon.
He needed the fucking colon cleanse, dude.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a good band name, Swollen Colon.
Swollen colon. So, Elvis,
Damn.
you may have lived your life, the majority of it, without man titties and without a flabby ass. But you died with months' worth of peanut butter and bacon rotting in your no longer functional bowels. So bless you, Elvis, for you are one of us. May your soul dine forever in the buffets of fat heaven.
Yeah, dude. If there is a heaven, I hope
Dude,
Elvis
Elvis
is
there.
up there right now, eating a fool's gold loaf.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's his dude. Elvis just eats that every fucking minute in fucking fat heaven, man.
Fat heaven, bro.
He eats one, and the chef just brings him another. Here you go, Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, he fucking switches out for the Elvis, the peanut butter and banana
yeah.
sandwich. Just
Let's talk about this fucking traitor.
fuck, dude.
Let's talk about this fucking traitorous dog.
Look how fat he is on the left, man. So beautiful, so fat.
I mean, like, the guy on the left, he looks like he might be kind of a prick, but you'd hang out with that guy. You'd talk some shit with that guy. He looks like one of
He
us.
looks like a comic book nerd, dude. He looks like a comic book nerd from fucking Simpsons.
Guy on the fucking right looks like fucking Steve Shives' dad. Fuck
Does.
that piece of shit.
What happened to you?
Ugh.
What happened to you?
Ugh. Gross.
You know what happened to fucking Kevin Smith? Yoga hosers.
You know, let's God damn, it's gross. Kevin Smith hits post-heart attack goal weight. Reveals on-set diet trick. In February, after filmmaker Kevin Smith suffered a heart attack, his doctor told him he need to shed 50 pounds. 7 months and one Weight Watchers spokesperson contract later, Smith, 48, has fulfilled his physician's orders, announcing to his 1.6 million Instagram followers August 26th that he now weighs a slim 205 pounds, the lightest I've been since high school. By the way, his latest weight is 198, from what I could tell.
Wow, dude.
Doesn't even fucking pop 200 pounds no more.
Jesus.
Still making money for it, too. Smith has served as Weight Watchers ambassador since this spring, alongside Oprah Winfrey and DJ Khaled, whatever the fuck. Following in a long line of celebrity pitch people that has also included Jennifer Hudson, Charles Barkley, Jessica Simpson, and Jenny McCarthy. Gross.
Wow. He's not keeping very good company.
I know. After revealing he reached his goal, Smith shared an image on August 28th from the premiere of Zack and Miri Make a Porno showing him at his heaviest, 330 pounds. Having just wrapped filming on a new monster pic in Florida titled Kilroy Was Here, Smith tells The Hollywood Reporter that he's kept the weight off by avoiding Snack Canyon on set. So here's the real Kevin Smith. Here's the Kevin Smith I grew up with, the Kevin Smith I love.
What's going on with his pants though? Go down a little bit. What is this?
He's wearing those fucking ridiculous 90s pants, dude.
It's like capri pant things.
Yeah.
But like they're huge though.
They're fucking
They're like
gigantic.
fucking bell bottoms. I
Yep.
don't get it.
I don't even know, dude.
I like the sweater though.
Yeah, he liked loose-fitting clothes to hide how fucking fat he was.
Damn,
I
dude,
guess.
look at that.
So here's another comparison you can kind of see.
Dude, Kevin Smith was fat as fuck.
Yeah, he was big.
You know what, man? And here he is talking about all this bullshit. Smotivation. Blech. While walking
Smotivation?
Shecky back in August 2013, a hidden paparazzi snapped pics of me that wound up on the Daily Mail website. It was pretty humiliating, to say the least. Why? Just because you're fat? People all knew you were fat, Kevin. It was all right. You owned that shit. So in an attempt at a daily do-over, here's an image of what I look like 5 years later while walking the same diminutive dog. Just saw my cardiologist, husband of Ricky something, some bullshit, and he says I'm doing great since the heart attack. Next up, I'll be adding a serious exercise regimen beyond just all the dog walking. Side note to my friends and family, I've lost my phone. I'll be getting it replaced, which means I'll have a new number now. I don't give a fuck. Fuck your bullshit. Hashtag Kevin Smith. Hashtag bunch of bullshit.
They're a little bit bitter, though, TJ, because you know what? A lot of people don't remember this, but I do. You asked Kevin Smith to be, I think it was on DP. He fucking said you should have some manners, and he turned you down, man.
Yeah, man. Piece of shit.
You came at him wrong, TJ.
Ever since then, dude, TJ's fucking hated Kevin Smith.
You know what? Being fat is a cliff. And at any moment, we might fall off. Elvis rolled off the edge of the cliff like a fucking boss. And he died like a fucking champion. Kevin Smith, however, is a coward. He wants to live on the cliff until it's his turn to die. And then suddenly, he rushes over to the skinny side of things and say, just kidding, I eat broccoli now. What a piece of fucking garbage. This motherfucker thinks he can have it both ways. He thinks he can enjoy a lifetime of deep dish pizza and onion rings and freezer burritos and big fucking pans of lasagna and shit, and then retreat to the fucking produce section when it comes time to pay the piper. Fuck him. As far as I'm concerned, the real Kevin Smith died years ago.
Damn.
This scrawny, ramshackle collection of bones and ribs is but a pale imitation of the glorious fat man that once made us chuckle with his whimsical musings and supple man bosoms. What are we to laugh at now, this living skeleton? I feel only horror looking at this emaciated ghoul where once a beautiful fat man stood.
In capris, no less. Ankle pants.
TJ, how do you feel, man? How do you feel knowing that Kevin Smith was able to lose that weight, though, man?
Disgusted to the very core
Something
of my
you've never
being.
been able to do. Maybe there's a little bit of envy, TJ.
No, there's
I think
no
there is.
envy. There's
I
no
think
envy.
you wish you were like Kevin Smith, man.
I wish I was like that beautiful Kevin Smith you see on the left-hand side.
Nah, man, you want to be Kevin Smith on the right, TJ.
I wish I was as fat as that Kevin Smith,
You wish you had the willpower, man.
for he is beautiful. Beautiful.
You wish you had the willpower,
Dude, I gotta tell you,
to be skinny.
that fucking sweater he's wearing as a fat guy there, that looks like the comfiest fucking sweater you ever saw in your life.
Yes,
Like,
it
you can
does.
tell it's kind of ratty down around the fucking hem of it.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So he's had it a long-ass time. It smells all good. God
Sorry.
damn.
Sorry, Paul.
Just absorbing how comfy that fucking sweater must be.
Let's take a little closer look. We can get up in there a little bit.
Yeah, because you got to look at that hem. You can see it's kind of raggedy, so you know he's had it a long-ass time. Dude, I love a sweater that I've had a long-ass time. It starts to get a little ratty.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the most comfy
Oh, dude,
fucking
it's
sweaters.
ratty.
Oh, yeah. It's ratty. It's a little off-colored, so he probably accidentally bleached it a little bit one time down there at the bottom. The shirt, too. Look at the hem of the shirt that he's got underneath it. That whole getup, I bet that shit is like just walking around wrapped in a blanket all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then look at him on the right. Just looks uncomfortable. Brand new shirt. It's probably all itchy.
Wearing normal fucking shorts.
I know, and loafers.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck am I looking at? That ain't Kevin Smith.
Look at his recent movies, man.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is dead.
I'm going to just ask you this. Who made better movies? Fat Kevin Smith or skinny Kevin
I think we
Smith?
all know the answer to that.
We all know the
It's
answer.
painfully obvious, man.
We all know. Get back on the cheeseburgers and fucking fulfill your destiny to die of a heart attack.
Dude, it looks like he dieted his dog, too.
His dog.
Yeah, his dog's skinnier even.
The
Gross.
fuck?
He's starving his poor dog. Someone call the fucking ASPCA.
Someone call PETA. Do something about this shit.
But the whole reason I even did this episode in the first place is this guy.
What a shock, TJ.
Yeah, well, because I was watching a show. Well, I'll get into why in a minute. This right here, this is Marilyn Manson back in the 90s. The beautiful people, the beautiful people.
He's a skinny little fuck back then.
The beautiful
man.
pizza, the beautiful pizza. Put on all the toppings, then I will eat ya.
Fuck, dude.
Marilyn Manson is busting out of his goth
So
shit
this
now.
is he's actually not quite as fat today as he is in this particular picture.
He dropped a little bit of this weight off.
This is him at his absolute fattest. This is probably from around 2010-ish, 2011, around there, 2012 maybe. He's not quite as fat these days, but he's still pretty big. And
I mean,
you can tell the most when he's on stage because there's really no hiding the amount of fat that he is. You can hide it cleverly in a music video where you can make sure you can control all the fucking camera angles and shit. But when you go up on that stage, it's pretty hard to hide.
Dude,
if you're fucking rocking a big fat body.
It was obvious when Manson got fat because before with his touring, motherfucker never wore a goddamn shirt. He was basically barely dressed.
Yeah, he liked to fucking basically cavort around the stage with as little clothing as you can get away with. Now, you notice there's multiple layers of clothes
he's
happening.
got like 5 layers of top on.
Right. So the whole thing is I was watching this video here when this is because I wanted to go to this concert. This was his Halloween concert in Las Vegas. And Paul came in and we started kind of making some fun. But we'll take a look. I'm going to mute the volume, obviously, but we can kind of see him going around the stage. And me and Paul actually had some pretty good ideas for Manson, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like we were thinking like I basically told Paul, and was kind of laughing and shit, and I was like, I think Manson should lean into this fat Manson a little bit more.
Yeah, he should just get fatter and fatter to the point where he can't even move on
Dude,
stage.
channel that Elvis shit, man.
To where they got to get like a big floating chair for him to just kind of lounge in while he flies around the stage.
Pippa.
Staple.
I mean, he still sounds pretty decent, but he does have a little bit of a husky fatness about his voice now. Like you can hear he's pushing the Manson out through the fat.
Yeah, you gotta it's gotta go through a lot more. Let's kind of get a look at a few more angles because this you can really tell in some of this shit.
Oh yeah, that angle you can really tell.
Whoa, strobe. Okay. So obviously he's trying to kind of wear
Go there,
big,
17. It looks like he's well lit there.
big loose like coats and shit. Yeah, you can kind of see there.
Oh man, yeah. Manson is portly as fuck right now.
Oh, dude.
He is
portly, Manson.
He is pleasantly plump.
Oh, yeah, dude, he is.
You can kind of
he's hiding it a little bit.
There's a point where he gets the podium out and he kind of like is
yeah, he's got that pot belly, dude.
humping on that podium a little bit and shit. If I can get to that part.
Oh, he's doing like Antichrist Superstar.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could really tell when he's. Oh yeah, here we go.
Okay, here it is.
Like at one point he gets up there and he's like humping the podium and shit.
That's awesome, dude.
And you can really fucking see the fat rolls dangling down.
Draping off.
I haven't seen Manson in a long time. I gotta go see Fat Manson, dude.
Oh, here we go. You can see his arm there a little bit more. I don't know what's going on with this dude. Yeah, you can definitely tell, though.
He looks like the guy that works a counter at like a New York fucking XXX video store. Yeah. Why doesn't he start burning the Bible like he does? He burns it like that, and then just like getting some bacon and putting it in a pan, fry some bacon off of that Bible.
Or like get a marshmallow, roast on, make himself a s'more, toss it, take a bite, toss it in the crowd kind of thing.
Yeah, start feeding the crowd too. Start bringing snacks that just kind of blow out.
Is he
with
talking
the pyro.
here, T-Dick? We hear Manson talking for a second.
Sure.
Let's hear Fat Manson talking to people.
All right, he's kind of singing there. It probably wouldn't trigger a copyright, but...
Let's see here. Manson's a little slow. He's not, like, really running up on the stage. Take your time, Manson.
Man, like,
all right. Oh, damn. Yeah, he's going real slow to get
I'm a
there.
fat man with pins in my leg at this point.
The beautiful people, the beautiful people.
Oh, no, Manson.
Beautiful people, the beautiful people.
I think Manson's winded.
On this way, here's some rules. Now we're going to do the breaking down the rules right now.
Oh, Manson's
I don't understand what he said.
Dude, Manson is fat, and he is fucking drunk as shit, dude.
Here's some rules. Here's some rules and where I'm breaking them down right now.
Now I really want to go to the concert.
The beautiful people.
You guys sing it. I'm tired.
Dude, Manson is fat Elvis. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember when I was...
What is this?
That is you, really loud.
Oh my God, no, Manson, no!
Yeah, he just kind of wanders now.
I wander
Dude,
around
Manson's like grandpa on the stage.
Yep.
He is. He's like, where am I going?
That's why I think we should just build him like a Baron Harkonnen kind of like floating fat Manson rig.
Yep.
Take all the pressure off those joints and shit, and he could just kind of like be suspended there in his big Manson sex swing fucking contraption.
Well, you saw Manson. Manson played the last Voodoo Fest, didn't he? Not this. Well, I guess 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How was he then?
He was fine. I mean, he was fat.
He was fat. Dude.
He still puts on a fine show. I mean, like, like you heard there when he was screaming, he can fucking still belt that shit out and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like his stage energy is much more of a like saunter casually around the stage as opposed to being like some kind of tornado of chaos or
Dude,
something.
Fuck the floating fat suit. Let's get this motherfucker a mattress and pull it out on stage.
Yeah, dude.
That's what he looks like he needs. Let him lay down, get him a nice pillow and a body pillow, and just let him kind of fucking snuggle up and do the show.
Dude, eventually you just become like Ozzy if you do rock long enough. You gotta just stand by the mic and sing.
Yeah, I think Manson's probably about 5 to 10 years away from being the kind of singer who pretty much just stands in one place. But why even stand, Get him the fucking mattress,
Sit.
dude.
Yeah, get him a comfy couch and rig it up to fly around the stage and shit.
Get him a fucking futon, you
Yeah.
know? Get him a fucking futon so he can sit up or lay down, depending on the song. If it's a more high-energy song, he can sit up.
Dude's got pins in his legs, man.
And for the finale, he'll stand up for one song.
Give this guy a fucking rest.
Let him
He
take a
looks
fucking
exhausted.
nap, bro.
Yeah, pull a mattress out on stage with a big cross painted upside down on it and let him fucking wallow around on that for a while.
Yeah, and if he starts snoring, fucking just send out some coked-out hookers to fucking shake him back awake.
Build him like one of those big old diving helmets and just suspend him in nice lukewarm water in a
Yeah.
tank on the stage and
Yeah,
let him
maybe
just float.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe,
like
set
he's
up
in
a little.
the amniotic sac or something.
See,
He's
you told
just
me a
there.
story about the Manson bath, dude. Like, you're like, Manson's like, someone like got invited back to his bus or something. It's like, you want to take a bath?
I don't even remember this.
You told me about it. You told me that Manson's like big into baths or something.
At least get the motherfucker a futon that he can sit on up there.
Get him a-
Beautiful futon, the beautiful futon.
Fuck that, dude. You guys are thinking too fucking.
Yeah.
You're thinking fucking too much like a dorm room, dude. Manson is a fucking artiste. This motherfucker.
Well, it could be like a
needs-
gothed out
He
futon.
Yeah.
No, fuck that, dude. He needs
It could
a
be like
nice
adorned
ass,
with human bones.
He needs
and
a
shit.
nice ass recliner, dude. A recliner.
Ah.
They can kick back.
He could probably afford a futon made from human bones.
Yeah.
Just get on that shit.
Did a mummy one.
Yeah, a mummy futon.
Give him a mummy fucking food.
I don't care what it is. Just get this man something fucking comfy to sit on, for Christ's sake.
Or, he could go another route and just like make the rest of his band like super fat,
oh yeah,
Like,
so
get-
that he looks less
right.
fat.
So you're looking like, God damn, that guitarist is like 800 pounds, So that Manson looks fucking svelte in comparison. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
I just think they all need to get fat. I think he needs to fire this whole band and hire just a
Hire
bunch
just
of
a big
huge
fat band.
fatties. Yeah.
Dude, you
Yeah.
know what? That's probably why I got rid of a fucking Twiggy, dude. Think about it. Twiggy.
Twiggy,
thin,
too thin.
Too
Too
fucking
thin.
thin. Manson's looking at himself in the mirror and is like, this guy's too fucking thin compared to me. You're gone, dude. Get the
I
fuck
need
out of
a
here.
fatter band.
Yeah. I'd like to see Manson just embrace his fatness.
Dude, Manson
a little
and the
more.
fat fucks, dude.
Yep.
You gotta be morbidly obese to play in Manson
Yeah,
now.
Manson and the Gluttons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that, man.
Oh, yeah. Tasty. All right. So let's take a look at some of these other fucking traitorous motherfuckers
Drew Carey, man. Well, he sucked to begin
that
with.
betrayed us, dude.
The betrayers.
The
of us
betrayers. Let's look at a few more of the betrayers.
Yeah.
So Drew Carey, man. Bleh.
Left,
Bleh.
left Drew Carey. Oh, look, it's Drew Carey. Right, Drew Carey. What the fuck? Yeah.
Blue.
I'm happy.
He sickens me to the core of my being. So this motherfucker, not only that, when he got skinny, he got lame as fuck. Like old Drew Carey, say what you want. Like he'd get up on stage and tell you a dick joke or two, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, he could tell you a dick joke. He had a big sitcom people liked and shit. Now what is he? A skinny ass host of goddamn fucking Price is Right? They did it by cutting back on sweets and beer. Yeah, it
What was
sounds
that
about
fucking
right.
improv show he had?
Whose line is it
Yeah,
anyway?
Whose Line?
That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
show.
That was a good show.
Yeah, he hosted that shit. And now he hosts fucking The Price is Right, America's fucking goddamn product placement show.
Yeah, for an audience that's just increasingly like 70 years old and above.
And
How
tells
much
the
is
most
that?
PG fucking jokes you could possibly imagine.
You're lucky you get a joke out of
if
him.
he even fucking bothers to tell a joke
He
anymore.
doesn't have time to joke anymore.
Actual
He's got
retail
products
price?
to sell.
$14.93.
I don't even know who this bitch is, so who cares?
Who cares? Not
John
John,
Goodman.
Goodman. No.
At least he stayed a little portly.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying. Like John Goodman, you can yo-yo a little bit within the fat confines.
Because it's not like John Goodman got skinny.
No, he's not skinny.
He ain't skinny.
No,
He just decided, like, I'm going to just be chunky.
I'm fine with that.
And he still's got the fat man gravitas, so it's all right. We'll give him a pass. Ricky Lake, who gives a fuck?
Ricky Lake was. I like Ricky Lake chunkier, dude.
Yeah, man.
She looks better.
Yeah,
With a
man.
little
If you
weight
had
on
to
her.
tap that shit, you'd be tapping fucking big fat Ricky Lake.
Yeah.
Because that booty gets some jiggle to it. Chris Pratt, I guess, used to be a little chunky.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on that Parks and Recreation show, and he was
Damn,
kind of
dude.
tubby.
A little tubby. Did it by doing P90X, cardio, and drinking water.
I mean, here's a guy that.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Ugh. Gross.
Dude, Al Roker used to be the word in fucking weather. He was the one dude that I listened to about the weather because a fat guy always knows what the weather's going to be.
You feel it in your bones, dude. You got big bones.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Look at him.
Looks like lean and trim. I mean, his face, you can see his jawline. I mean, what's going on
Let's
here?
be real. The guy on the left, the guy on the right is not even Al Roker anymore. He's not
No,
even Al Roker.
It's the mummy of Al Roker.
Yeah. Hideous. Emaciated, disgusting creature. Adele. You know, the whole point of Adele is, hey, this fat bitch can sing.
You know
Right.
what, though? I think it's within, like, the
And she's
female range.
scrawny up.
Within the female range there, I think it's kind of the same as John Goodman. She still looks like she's pretty fat. She
That's
looks like,
true.
She doesn't. I mean, it looks like she lost some weight.
I mean, she's
for
not
sure.
super thin now.
That's what I'm saying. She
so
ain't
maybe we
super
give her a
thin.
Goodman pass
Yeah.
on this
But you
one.
know what? I feel like she should have gained some fucking weight.
Get up to precious size.
Dude,
Yeah.
that dress is hiding a lot of that.
Become
dude.
white precious. You know what I'm saying? Aretha Franklin, who cares? Gross. So Jonah Hill, this one pisses me off too.
Yeah.
Until he made his recent statements.
See, they're not even showing Jonah Hill at his fucking fattest there by a fucking
No,
long
Not
shot.
dude.
by a fucking
He's
long
way,
shot.
he's been way fatter.
He
than
was
that.
way fatter than he is on the right there. So this fucking article screwed the pooch on this one. But Jonah Hill was way fucking fat, and now he's a little fucking scrawny bitch. And I'll be honest, I feel the same way I do about Al Roker. He ain't even fucking Jonah Hill no more.
He's
Yeah.
not, man.
This is like if fucking Fatty Arbuckle shows up and all of a sudden he's a fucking goddamn twig or something.
He's at least like 60% less funny just on the face of it. You know what I mean?
right, because you know what? A fat motherfucker,
They're funny.
naturally funnier than a scrawny
We have to
motherfucker.
be. Fat people got to be funny. If we're not, we just get teased mercilessly. We never have a comeback.
Mama June. How this like this ain't even a fucking celebrity. This is just
Yeah, come on.
So what are you talking about? This is
Honey
honey
Boo
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 Boo Child's mama.
I'm Honey Boo Boo Town. Gonna make them
Damn,
scared.
she looks like Marilyn Monroe, dude. Look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, blow that skirt up, Mama June.
Jimmy Kimmel. Well, that's okay. He was never funny.
Yeah,
anyway.
so nothing was lost.
Yeah, and I don't know, dude. I never really thought of Jimmy Kimmel as fat. I don't think he ever reached fat.
He's just a little chunky.
Yeah,
Jessica Simpson. Once again, look better fat.
way better.
Look way better fat.
A little meat on them
I
bones.
mean, she ain't even fat. She's more just like chubby.
Yeah.
Look way better.
She got a space helmet.
I don't know.
What is she
What is
holding?
that? I don't even know.
She's going to space, dude.
Is that like something from 2001: A Space
I don't
Odyssey?
know. She's going trick or treating with a space helmet.
Kirstie Alley. She's one of those ones that's always ballooned up and down.
I liked Kirstie fat.
Oh, that's right. Russell Crowe.
Now, Russell Crowe doesn't even look skinny in the after picture here.
He really
He just looks like
Looks like he's
he
still
got
fat.
shorter, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just show Russell Crowe from Gladiator, then just show him now, dude.
So Russell Crowe, yeah, I guess he was a little fatter, and I guess he lost some weight. But as far as I'm concerned, these pictures, he looks the same. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's still fat.
And God bless him for it.
Yeah, I like fat Russell
Stay
Crowe.
on Team Fat, dude. Come on.
Roseanne Barr, now she lost some weight, but she regained it after her, the
Sitcom.
incident.
The
Yeah.
Ambien meltdown.
But yeah, I guess she did lose a little weight there. See, I don't see a difference.
No, there
Yeah.
not one.
This
This
is
is
the
just
same.
ridiculous.
This is ridiculous shit. Jennifer Hudson, okay. I can
Look at
see
dude,
it.
she lost all her titty
Yeah, she lost all her tit weight. What the hell?
and all that fucking hourglass.
Yeah.
Bye Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson is dead. Whatever.
She didn't look that fat to begin with.
Khloe Kardashian, sure. Why
Barely
not?
any difference.
Looked better fat.
Yep, so that's it. But there's a few traitors amongst them. A lot of these motherfuckers don't even look that different. This is like, I can't detect like, when it comes to like this shit, we're like, oh, she lost 10 pounds. I can't even fucking tell that shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That type of swing is not even on my radar.
Right.
That's a daily occurrence in my world.
What about this guy?
Oh yeah.
Damn, it's Val Kilmer, dude.
What about this guy? Ha! This is Val Kilmer. You might remember him as, he was
Batman, dude.
Batman, yeah, he was. What's
Doc
the fucking
Holliday.
dude from Top Gun, man?
Yeah, it was Goose or whatever.
Goose, yeah, man. And he's a fucking good-looking guy. Not too fucking. He's not super skinny.
He was good in The Saint.
Yep,
The Saint, man.
Saint, bro.
Nobody ever thinks about The Saint.
He was good in it. Yeah, you're right. So, one of these names that got bandied about when I was talking about this episode is Val Kilmer. You know, it's like, hey, I want to do an episode about people who ballooned up.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer's name was tossed in the arena. I don't remember if it was Scotty that said it or if it was Paul that said it. One of you guys said it.
Well, the last time we saw Val Kilmer was in that fucking horrible Snowman movie. And he was huge.
Mm-hmm. So, it's a little weird. He's a weird one because there's more of a journey with this. So I was going to make him more of a big area of focus in this, and I'm still going to do it, but not so much for his weight stuff because
There's some other weird shit about him, too.
it just kind of goes into this weird sort of territory where it goes beyond the parameters of the episode and sort of into like a Rod Serling territory, you know?
Okay.
I'm not going to say Jordan Peele territory because we all know how bad his
Oh, Jesus.
attempt at doing the Twilight Zone was. Oh, by the way, Paul, I saw that ideology where you were reviewing all of Jordan Peele's
Oh my God.
intros.
That was horrible,
As
dude.
a brief aside, you know, just like, wow. What a fail. He does not have the gravitas.
Not at all.
We kept feeling like I wanted to be a Key and Peele sketch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was hoping that fucking Peele would come running out and, you know what I mean? Or, sorry, Key would come
Yeah.
running out and
Yeah.
slap him over the head or kick him in the
Something.
nuts or something.
So here he is as a young actor, you know, and he looks good. So, you know, but time goes on.
We all
Wait,
age.
TJ.
Look,
Right.
we
Yeah.
all
Wait,
age.
TJ, you're saying skinny Val Kilmer looks good, dude?
Yeah.
How
So-
can you say that, man? The whole night you've been fucking defending fatness?
Well, you know, he's a guy, you know, he looks good like that.
Wow, okay, so in some limited cases, you do think that
Well,
being
look,
skinny-
I don't have nothing against fat Val Kilmer. He ages. The ravages of time happen. You know, you balloon up.
Jesus.
Whoa.
You get pregnant. I don't know.
I mean, is it a boy or a girl?
I don't know. We're going to have to wait for the gender reveal party.
You might
Please squeeze him into the Batman suit looking like this.
Yes.
please.
Dude,
oh,
that'd be
my God.
great.
That'd be beautiful.
Even just for parody, dude.
So, yeah, he got fat. You know, and I mean, he's not huge
Oh,
here.
yeah.
No,
He's not
He's a
overwhelmingly
chunky
fat.
motherfucker. You know, he's got a big belly.
Put on a little weight.
You know, you could tell that there's quite a bit of fat hanging down on that neck.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is you know he got skinny again, right? So he lost some weight.
Whoa.
Oh, that's actually like really skinny.
Yeah, he's actually pretty fucking skinny there.
He almost looks like he has cancer, dude.
Well, he
Fuck.
did,
Oh, okay. Well, damn, that explains it.
and as a result, he's starting to look weird.
Whoa.
So here's what's going on with him now. That doesn't even look like fucking Val Kilmer to me anymore.
He had throat cancer?
Yes, and that's
Okay.
why you see that bandana wrapped up. But I mean, like, look, here's the thing. Throat cancer can only explain so much of what's going on here, right?
Right.
Because I mean, like, okay, so maybe it's the angle, but I'm thinking it's not because I've seen so many pictures of him. But it's like, it looks like he's got a little bit of a gut. It looks like his arms are hanging at different lengths. So that could be just the posture.
He just kind of looks
he's
like
using.
a slightly tubby old man now.
Yeah. But he doesn't really look much like Val Kilmer, except it seems like someone kind of took a body that doesn't look at all like Val Kilmer's body and kind of photoshopped his face onto
he kind of
it.
looks
You know?
gangly now. You know what I mean? He has that
Yeah.
kind of like he's kind of.
It's almost like he's got these really narrow limbs and kind of this like somewhat fat midsection.
and
cool
really
shoes.
skinny legs. Oh, dude, those shoes are
Shoes are
pretty
neat.
Cool.
Look like highlighters, you know? So, yeah, he did have throat cancer, and that's why you see him wearing this this bandana around his neck there. But I don't think it can fully explain the bizarreness of his appearance at this point. Not that he looks, I mean, like, he's not like some kind of weird goblin or something, but I don't know, man.
He just doesn't look like Val Kilmer at all.
From the past, yeah.
He doesn't look like Val Kilmer, and he doesn't really look like anyone I've ever fucking
If you
seen
look at these
before.
other dudes that aged, like Schwarzenegger still looks like Schwarzenegger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Stallone still looks like Stallone. Even when Schwarzenegger was fat, he still looked like Schwarzenegger.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce
you know?
Willis still looks like Bruce Willis. Val Kilmer doesn't really look like Val Kilmer anymore.
Like, if you told me this was Val Kilmer's dad, I'd believe you.
Yeah,
Right.
sure, yeah.
I'd be like, oh, yeah.
yeah, that looks
Val Kilmer's pops. Yeah.
that looks
yeah.
right.
Must have got most of his genes from mom.
So because there's not really a whole lot to talk about, I just thought we'd come in and talk about some of the ways that he's a dick. Because that's kind of always
Hey,
fun.
Dr. Moreau, another actor that became fat, Marlon Brando.
We'll get to him. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, covering him? Okay, never mind
Yes. Val Kilmer's legendary antics during the filming of Dr. Moreau cemented his reputation for being difficult to work with. He was constantly fighting with the original director, co-star Marlon Brando, and much of the crew. On top of this, or I'm sorry, PN top of this, he often refused to come out of his trailer to shoot scenes and would not deliver his lines as written in the script. His behavior was so erratic that when filming wrapped up, the replacement director, John Frankenheimer, said, "I don't like Val Kilmer. I don't like his work ethic, and I don't ever want to be associated with him again."
Yeah, and Hollywood, for someone to say that about you is pretty shocking.
Right? You got to be a pretty big fucking prick for someone to actually come on the record and shit talk.
And be
By
like,
the
fuck
way,
you.
If you're interested in this, there's a lot more
Amazing
of it
documentary.
in that documentary. I think it's called Lost Soul.
Yep.
The
Something like that.
The doomed journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, they made a documentary about this movie?
Dude,
It's amazing.
I want to watch it
You have to
immediately.
s- you
I
have
want
to
to watch
see
it
it.
immediately, dude.
it is fucking insane the amount of crap that went on in this stage. And Val Kilmer
and
was part
especially,
of that.
it's probably going to be especially fascinating now that Richard Stanley, the original director, is having a shot at a comeback with that Nicolas Cage H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, Color Out of Space.
Yeah.
See, right at the time he was cast in Moreau, he was huge because of Batman had just come out.
Sure.
And so during he negotiated certain shooting days and a whole schedule and everything like you do, and then he wanted to drastically cut back the amount of time he was on set. When he was on set, he was just completely impossible to work with. He would refuse to come out of his fucking trailer. He'd refuse to fucking work on the days he was supposed to work. So he was just a total nightmare to work with because he felt like the movie was beneath him, basically.
Okay, so basically he signed a contract.
He wasn't the lead role in the film.
So basically he signed on before his star power really had taken off, and then it did, and he's like, this role's beneath me at this point.
Yeah. So, yeah, but definitely check out that documentary. It's awesome.
All of his lines were redubbed in 2017's The Snowman.
You could tell.
It was awful, too.
So what went on with that? Like
He was such a weird... He was the scariest part about that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
He looked weird. You could tell his dialogue was not coming out of his mouth.
He seemed... now, his character... He did play a raging alcoholic. Like, that was part of his character's thing. But he just seemed like he was drugged through most of the movie. His delivery was hard to hear and weird and stilted.
how did he look? Did he look like
Horrible.
fat?
Kind of like in that old
He
man
looked-
picture that TJ...
He looked bloated.
yeah.
He looked less overtly fat than just bloated.
Dude, when I saw
And apparently what we were hearing was not even his voice. They had to have another actor come in and redub the lines.
that's how I feel about, and not for that reason, but well, I guess maybe in a way, 3 from Hell, they had Sid Haig in the fucking beginning of that movie. I was watching it. That's a horrible movie, by the way.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, if you watch, you'll be extremely disappointed. But he's barely in the movie, and it's just like he struggled. You can tell he really struggled to deliver his dialogue, and he has no energy. And it's like that's probably what's going on with Val Kilmer. It's probably this cancer has just sapped all his energy, and it's fucking. I mean, with throat cancer, sometimes with Roger Ebert, he had the same kind of thing. Like they lose part of their jaw and stuff. So
Who knows?
yeah.
Apparently, he was a nightmare on the set of Batman Forever as well. One of the most arduous films that Val Kilmer has worked on is Batman Forever. The actor replaced Michael Keaton, but became involved in heated arguments with cast and crew almost immediately after shooting started. Director Joel Schumacher said that Kilmer was childish and impossible throughout filming. He refused to talk to the director for several weeks after he was scolded for bullying the crew and acting rude.
Damn.
By the way, the majority of his animosity is directed at the film crews themselves. There are plenty of stories about him mistreating cast members and even directors, but it's perhaps the crew that has taken the brunt of his bizarre behavior. As part of his process of method acting, Kilmer stays in character even after the cameras stop rolling. In one instance, he apparently forced all of the crew of The Doors to refer to him exclusively as Jim. He's playing Jim Morrison. Then there was the time on the set of The Saint where Kilmer allegedly demanded that none of the crew make eye contact with him.
A reasonable request.
These shoots sound rough, but they can't even compare to the insanity Kilmer subjected the crew of The Island of Dr. Moreau to. Many who worked on the movie have since spoken out against the actor, saying he forced them to address him as Mr. Kilmer at all times. And in one bizarre incident, the star apparently put out a lit cigarette on the face of a cameraman. Witnesses have since confirmed the action was done on purpose.
Damn. Yeah. Sounds like
Fuck,
a real
dude.
peach to work with.
Yep. It's weird because I don't get that vibe from him. At least not these days. I don't know if he's still that way or not.
Maybe he's mellowed out in his old age.
One would hope.
Yeah, dude, because fuck, he sounds like a real asshole.
Oh yeah, total prick. So who's this guy? This is Orson Welles.
Orson Welles, dude.
Yeah. This here's Orson
Oh,
Welles.
the French champagne.
Oh, God. No, you're playing that during this episode, TJ.
Maçon.
You're playing that
I'm
fucking...
not playing it.
All
All right, fine.
No, fuck you. You're playing that. That's a fucking gem, dude.
Oh, the French champagne.
Dude, I'm such a talented actor.
Oh.
At his fucking fat, bloated end of his career, fucking shill that product.
Turn camera.
Fine.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
I love it so much, dude.
There's a new champagne from Paul Masson.
All right. Listen. So I don't think he definitely he's one of the ones who went through a very, at least seemingly a drastic body transformation, all right? Perhaps the greatest director of all time.
Did you
certainly
pull
one
the
of
shit
the
about his,
finest actors.
his breakfast shit?
I mean, I can't. I read that a long time ago. I've never been able to find that since. We'll talk about some of his eating habits in a moment. So he certainly belongs in that conversation. All right. So he was a great actor, great director. He only had one really transcendent kind of film that really fucking met that mainstream success fucking shit in Citizen Kane. But prolific career, very respected actor, very respected director. Blah 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 blah. But he got pretty damn portly, and we'll see that, I guess, in this commercial. I actually have this other thing I want to kind of show you, because you kind of see his height in this as well. So we'll take a look at that thing, but let me just get through this while I show you him speaking at this event here. And you can
This
see,
is a roast.
yeah.
Oh,
You
damn.
can see also his immense height. He towered over a lot of people. He was about 6'2". Orson Welles, towards the later years of his life, was a truly gargantuan man. For him, a meal was 18 hot dogs. He went to a hot dog place called Pink's in L.A. and just ate 18 hot dogs as a matter of course. A common dinner for Welles was 2 big steaks, cooked rare, and a few glasses of scotch. He once quipped, "My doctors told me to stop having intimate dinners for 4 unless there are 3 other people." By summer 1949, when he was 34, his weight had crept up to a stout 230 pounds. In 1953, he ballooned from 250 to 275. After 1960, he remained permanently obese. He was over 400 pounds for the remainder of his life. He was also a tall man, with most biographers claiming his height around 6'2". The thing about Welles is that it isn't really the case that he was skinny and got fat. I found that out. He was always fat.
Always.
Yes, he just had the ability to use crash dieting, drugs, and girdles to lose or hide his weight for his early roles.
I see.
So he was always a big, portly guy. Now, he always wasn't 400 pounds, but he was always a fat dude. And like when it came time to do a movie or a stage show, he would take a bunch of drugs, he would crash diet, and whatever he couldn't lose, he would slap a girdle on himself to hide, and he'd go out there and he'd look good.
Dude, Orson Welles should have been Henry VIII, man. That'd been the perfect thing. And also a monarch that went from skinny to fat. That'd have been the perfect role for him before he died.
So, it was just the case with him that, he always ate like that.
Orson Welles was supposed to be Baron Harkonnen, by the way,
Yes.
in
Oh,
Jodorowsky's
man.
Dune, which would have been the fucking
Fuck yes,
ultimate
dude.
role.
Yes. Absolutely.
Perfect for that role.
So let's indulge Scotty, because he wants to watch this.
The French champagne.
Let me go ahead and put that in our movie view.
Ah.
The beautiful people, the beautiful people. All right, let's go ahead to movie mode here,
Ah.
and let's take a look at this fun adventure. This is always great.
That's what I'm
So
saying,
this is
dude.
Orson Welles, fat Orson Welles, doing a wine commercial. This is
love it.
Dude, his fingers look like little sausages. Look at him on that
Yeah.
table.
So here he is, and he can't get through his lines.
He's already drunk, clearly.
Yes, and probably not on that wine. He was a Scotch drinking
Yeah, he
man.
wasn't drinking that shit, dude.
But
He was spitting that out between takes.
And I guess that finally they ended up. We're gonna watch also the final dubbed version of the commercial. So
Turn camera. Marked. 102, take 1. With overlap, action please.
okay,
I love it, dude. He's just like, okay, I gotta do something.
he doesn't even know where the fuck he is.
The fine
Like,
French champagne.
champagne.
Dude, pregnant pause.
anything?
No, sorry, cut.
Sorry, never mind.
He doesn't do anything.
My post. What?
Words?
Well,
Camera rolling. 102, take 2.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a
Oh, the French champagne.
It's always been
But
celebrated
just to hear it in his voice, dude.
from its impotence.
Dude, even him fucking
Excellence.
up, even him fucking up the goddamn read is great.
I think they should have just went with this.
I know,
bro.
dude.
California
He just put him like he's so drunk on the champagne he
It's
can't
that
even
good.
do the fucking commercial.
It's so fucking good he can't even do the commercial, dude.
champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So
Cut.
Paul Masson.
102, take 3. Action please.
Ah, the French champagne is a
I love how in the opening shot, like as they're spooling up and shit, he's just like scratching his big old bulbous nose.
This doesn't give a fuck at all.
the French.
Oh, the French champagne, Paul Masson.
I do love French champagne.
Everyone else on set has to do all this shit. And he's just,
It's a literal miracle that they got anything that they could use out of this shoot. and
Well,
made
let's see
any
what
kind of
let's see
commercial
what
at
the
all.
end
Yeah,
results are in a
let's keep
minute.
it
celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated.
And like the best
front line.
champagne,
Dated.
French
Line.
champagne.
Like the best.
Paul
Ah.
Masson soup.
Final dubbed version.
Let's see what they got.
The taste of French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There's a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle.
So it sounds like
So
they
basically,
waited until he sobered
yeah,
up
They waited until later when he sobered up.
and just had him read
Had
the
him
script.
come back and read the script real
Yeah,
quick.
clearly.
Best French champagne. It's vintage dated. Paul Masson's superb taste shouldn't be too surprising. This champagne doesn't come from France, but it was created by a man who did. Paul Masson. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time.
Wow.
Well,
God
obviously,
bless the editors on that.
obviously, the fucking the final cut of that commercial was very different than what was originally envisioned.
Oh.
Paul Masson.
Oh, French champagne. It's the most delicious champagne.
Somebody probably just went out and got him 18 hot dogs to soak up all that booze. You know what I mean?
What can we get you, Mr. Wells?
18 hot dogs from Pink's. Ah, the Pink's hot dog.
Wish I could do a commercial for them. All right.
Why didn't they fucking hire him to do a commercial? Fucking stupid.
I don't know. Maybe they couldn't afford him. So here we go. Here's another guy. Another guy. Here we go. Marlon Brando.
Right. Now, he definitely is a candidate for this wasn't fat and then turned fat.
Oh, dude, totally.
He absolutely. Now, see, with Elvis, you know, obviously Elvis was pretty fit at one point. Now, as we learn with Orson Welles, he kind of cheated.
Yeah, he hid his fat.
He kind of hid his fat in the youth. But, you know, Marlon Brando, he's not fat here. He's fucking physically fit. He's a gorgeous fucking bastard. He's easily a contender, no in-joke intended, for the greatest actor of all time. His performances are legendary, despite the fact that he thought very little of acting, to the point of finding it a stupid and ridiculous job that he had like no respect for. Didn't want to talk about the process or any of that shit. Really looked down his nose at his own profession. So he may not have been passionate about acting, but he was certainly passionate about eating.
Jesus.
Unlike most of the people on this list, I actually was able to find an entire article devoted to describing this man's prodigious eating habits.
Dude, I'm totally ready.
So let's delve on in. All right, whenever Scotty stops dying, I guess. You ready?
We're
You good?
We're down the wrong way, dude.
You good?
No, I'm dead.
All right. So he's one of the most admired actors in the history of movies. Blah, blah, blah. The sexiest man alive. We know. Started a bunch of movies in the 50s. He was a good-looking guy. So anyway, let's look at his fucking Okay, so even in those very early days of his movie career, the great Marlon liked his chow. Actor Richard Erdman, a fellow actor in The Men, Brando's first film, said Marlon's diet at the time consisted of junk food, takeout, and peanut butter, which he consumed by the jar full. Just like Elvis, loved that peanut butter.
Damn.
By the mid-50s, Marlon had become renowned for eating boxes of Malamars and cinnamon buns and washing his sweet treats down with a quart of milk. Close friend Carlo Fiore said Marlon would go on extreme crash diets in the 50s and 60s, but then would lose his willpower. He would subsequently gorge on huge breakfasts consisting of cornflakes, sausages, eggs, bananas, and cream, and a huge stack of pancakes drenched in maple syrup.
Nice.
One of Brando's nicknames for himself was Bran Flakes. Carlos Fiore would be dispatched by Brando's directors to fetch him out of local coffee shops. Kark Malden, a close friend, said that during the shooting of One-Eyed Jacks in 1961, Brando would eat 2 steaks, potatoes, 2 apple pies a la mode, and a quart of milk for dinner.
Fuck, dude.
The
this
diet
guy's putting away.
necessitated the constant altering of his costume during the filming. Because of this, at his birthday party that year, the crew gave Marlon a belt as a present with the card, "Hope it fits." His birthday cake was labeled, "Don't feed the director." Brando was the director of One-Eyed Jacks. His second wife, Movita, actually put a lock on the house refrigerator, but when she awoke one morning, the lock was broken and Marlon's teeth were found on a round of cheese.
Teeth. So he just took a giant bite of the cheese.
He just took a bite of the cheese. The housemaid told Mrs. Brando that Marlon made nighttime raids on the icebox routinely.
Damn, dude. He liked to gorge himself at night, too.
Brando also loved to frequent hot dog stands late at night, particularly the L.A. hot dogs joint Pink's at 3 and 4 o'clock.
Same fucking place that
Orson Welles
gorge
ate,
himself
where
at.
he'd wolf down as many as 6 hot dogs at a time.
Not quite Orson Welles level.
No, couldn't quite get to that Orson Welles level of hot dogs. Not surprisingly, from these Gorge Fest, the costumer on Mutiny on the Bounty, James Taylor, claims Brando split 52 pairs of pants during the shooting of the film due to his wild swings in weight. This necessitated a stretchy fabric be used on his wardrobe replacement clothes. He split those pants, too. During this time, Marlon was also once observed taking a 5-gallon tub of ice cream and rowing himself out into the lagoon to indulge himself.
This guy was a fucking super compulsive eater. Like,
I know.
It didn't even matter. Like, I've never rowed myself out to a lagoon with a 5-tub fucking gallon of ice cream just to gorge
Where do you
myself.
get a 5-gallon tub
I don't
of
know.
ice cream?
Do you just walk into like a fucking ice cream shop or like, give me the big one in the display?
On the set of the Appaloosa in 1966, Marlon's double once had to be used in long shots simply because Marlon had eaten one of his Gorge Fest lunches. Dick Loving, yes, that really was his name, who was married, what a great name,
Damn.
who was married Marlon's sister Franny, said Marlon would eat 2 chickens at one sitting and go through an entire Pepperidge Farm cookies package.
Delicious, those, by the way.
Yes, of course. In what was possibly Marlon's strangest eating exploit, it was reported that during the filming of Missouri Breaks in 1976, he fished a frog out of a pond, took a bite out of it, and put it back in the drink. When you're hungry, I guess.
God damn, man.
He just ate a frog,
Yeah,
dude.
come here, little frog.
Frogger.
Jeez.
Before filming Apocalypse Now in 1979, Marlon devoutly promised to lose weight, but he couldn't do it. Subsequently, his character is shown in the shadows for much of the film to hide his Buddha-like belly. A 6'5" double was used in long shots by director Francis Ford Coppola to give the character more stature. By the 1980s, it was reported that one of Brando's girlfriends had left him because he wouldn't keep his promise to lose weight. He always seemed to be dieting, but the pounds weren't coming off much. Unknown to her, he had some of his buddies throw bags of Burger King Whoppers over the gates of his Mulholland Drive estate.
Yeah, dude. He's getting like the fucking black market Whopper connection. I love it.
Later in the 80s, Marlon was routinely spotted at a Beverly Hills ice cream parlor buying 5-gallon containers of ice cream, which he would eat all himself. Reportedly, one of his favorite snacks at the time was a full pound of cooked bacon placed in an entire loaf of bread. No peanut butter and jelly, though. Come on.
Just a half-ass gold digger loaf or whatever.
Fool's gold loaf.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
During these years, the 5'10" Marlon's weight would balloon up to an incredible 350 pounds at one point. Towards the end of his life, when he was obviously in danger from his overeating, Marlon did make one last-ditch attempt to drop some excess weight by going on a bland diet. At one point, he did drop 70 pounds, but his heart, his liver, and his body in general were already severely damaged by his overeating and frequent crash diets. Possibly only Elvis Presley and Orson Welles, among showbiz and movie legends, liked to indulge in overeating as much as Marlon Brando. And right up to the end, which sadly finally came on July 1st, 2004, when he was 80 years old, which, by the way, is a perfectly reasonable lifespan for a man. So actually lived longer than most men. Beat the average, so whatever. Didn't seem like it affected him that bad. Marlon never lost his great love of food, especially his beloved ice cream. Bonus fact, living on the island of Teterova, Marlon liked to create his own real-life Mounds bars, cracking open coconuts, melting some chocolate in the sun, and then stirring in the coconut for a tasty treat.
Dude,
sounds pretty good,
Marlon
actually.
Brando was just a fucking true glutton. Like, unabashedly, he just wanted to eat as much food as he could. He didn't give a fuck who was there. He didn't give a fuck what he had to do to get that fucking food. He would walk into an ice cream parlor and be like, I want 5 gallons of Rocky Road. And they just fucking like, here you go.
5 gallons of your ice cream, please.
That's how I wonder if any like directors and shit got him onto these things by indulging this in him. Like, I'm gonna go to Marlon's place. I'm just gonna bring 5 gallons of Rocky Road with me.
Marlon, if you do the scene the way I like, 5 gallons of Rocky Road right in that freezer for you.
Oh, the French champagne.
Marlon Brando, another thing he would do is that a lot of times his lines, if he actually did follow the lines, would have to be written down in places like, or you have to read them off fucking cue cards. Like, he never memorized lines.
I'm telling you what, though, like that scene, the scenes with him in Apocalypse Now and stuff are fucking haunting and awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a great
So
actor.
they made it work. Same thing with The
I don't know
Godfather.
how-
I heard all kinds of stories about him and The Godfather, like having his lines on the back of his hand and shit.
Well, yeah,
to
and
read.
the cat, that was just some shit like weird Marlon Brando shit. He's like, I've got a cat now. You know, it's like...
It's so weird because, like I said, he had no respect for his own profession. He didn't give a fuck about being an actor. He didn't take it
he
seriously.
didn't give a fuck when he won an Academy Award.
He wouldn't remember his goddamn lines for shit. He had to fucking put him on. Like, how the fuck was he a good actor? I don't get it.
just really- he was.
He's just that fucking good that he even not giving a shit, not even trying, he was amazing. Whatever.
Some people,
It's
man.
obvious what his real passion in life was, and that's
Eating.
eating.
That's probably what it was.
seems
He's like, you know what? I can make this money doing this acting shit, and I can eat as much as I want. Fuck it.
He woke up in the morning and he started eating, and then he didn't stop until he fucking passed out at night. So a true glutton to the point where he's literally like, a frog. I'll eat that.
I mean, he lived to the ripe old age of 80, man. So they always say gluttons die young, man. Not him.
Not him, bro. Not him.
80 fucking years old, man.
8 big old loaves of bread with a pound of bacon on them every goddamn day.
Had friends tossing Whoppers over the fucking gate and
Hell
shit.
yeah. Whoever those friends were, those are true homies, too.
Oh, yeah, dude. No lie.
True blue homies.
I wonder if one of those friends was Jack Nicholson, because I know they were close friends and lived right next to each other.
Yeah, I can see him
Jack,
doing
could
that.
you go get me some Burger King and throw it over the back fence, please?
All right, Marlon. I'm going.
So I don't know if we learned anything on this episode.
Yeah, we did.
It was a little tabloidal, though. A little bit.
We learned...
A little bit of a tabloid
We learned who the
show.
fucking true fatties are and who the fucking fakers are.
But,
man.
I think we sated some curiosity. We explored the topic as best you possibly could, I think. Maybe could have done Oprah, but whatever.
That's the big fish, dude.
We'll I'm sure we'll get to Oprah at one point in this show. I hope it scratched an itch for everybody. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week with some more deep, fat, fried. Yeah, bitch.